Hi everybody, it's Mark Messier, and you're listening to Blueshirt
Underground Show,
the #1 Rangers podcast. Make sure you tune in to find out all the latest news. Let's go Rangers!
Blueshirt Underground, motherfucker!
Yes, a Ranger fan. Yes, a Ranger fan.
This is an unlawful gathering. This is an unlawful gathering. The truth is out there. The truth is out there.
This is the underground. This is new media. This is the underground. This is new media.
Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar. Ranger fans, remember what's the critical thinking hangar.
And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers. And now here is the starting lineup for the New York Rangers.
This is New York Rangers hockey. 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 This is New York.
Good evening, Blueshirt Undergrounders. This is your Game 4 wrap-up show. Today is Wednesday. It is May the 25th. And yes, the headlines say it all. Garden of Eden, even. Jim and Eddie with you on a Wednesday night. What's going on, Eddie? How are you, sir? We got ourselves a series, my friend. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, you're still muted from the theme.
Okay. That's right. I'm very happy. We have a series now, and I thought the Rangers played their best game of the playoffs last night, and I was happy with everything. There's no, there was a couple of things, I guess. I'll probably, along the way, come up with some things, but for the most part, it was a good effort all around, I thought, by the Rangers.
I got one nitpick.
Go.
Just one, but it's legit.
Okay.
It's an ongoing issue, but just one. Face-offs.
What are you going to do? You can't really do it. I know they're bad, but you can't. You brought Pierre Rasico in here. You can't make these guys any better. All you can hope is that you get some support after you lose the face-offs. So what are you going to do?
Ryan Strome, 20% on face-offs. My God.
And before I hear you got to trade him, you got to
we're better at face-offs.
You're right. There's no excuse for that.
But I come, as Mark Anthony said, not to bash praise.
Let me ask you this, and maybe this is a reason, is that they kind of moved. There was some kind of matchups by the Rangers. They got Zibanejad and cried away from Stahl, correct?
Yes.
All right, so maybe Strome was now going against Stahl, who's quite immaculate. He's a great face-off guy. Maybe that's why Strome got. But still, it's no excuse. No excuse. Strome has definitely had his difficulties this series. So, lady made a great pass on Kopp's goal.
He did.
He hasn't put the biscuit in the basket, as we said.
He did.
But that's a July problem. We'll worry about that later.
Right. Face-offs are going to have to be a July problem, too, because they're a May problem.
Yeah, I know. It was okay. It was okay in the regular season. It wasn't terrible.
Bad.
It was never good, but it wasn't like putrid, which it's been like in this series. Forget it.
Right.
Every series.
But I'll tell you what, last night, these Rangers came to play. They weren't fucking around, and Jacob Troubadour.
Oh, my Lord.
blasting, obliterating, annihilating, cremating, eviscerating Max Domi. Obliterating him. Clean hit. Dumbass lost his feet or was scared. He heard footsteps, whatever you want to call it. Jacob Trouba. My God.
He's lucky he lost his edge, because if he didn't lose his edge, he'd be stuck in the board still, in the glass. I mean, that is what an invaluable guy at this point. A guy that maybe a year ago we didn't want to see any more of. And all of a sudden, another Gerard Gallant. Let's give it this way. Trouba certainly hadn't played this way in the previous years. So maybe it's a also we got to give the Trouba, we didn't buy his excuse that it was taking him time to get acclimated to New York. We were not buying that.
I did.
You did?
I've given him a pass more than a lot of people.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, I was a little scared. I certainly have. I've always endorsed Jacob Trouba. I said, again, I'm not, want to win the White Carnation. I said once the Rangers filled in and became a playoff team, you would see even how more valuable he'd be. And I never gave up on him. Listen, it took a while, and I don't mind people bailing on him, especially when you're making a lot of money. You're under the microscope. He's making $3 million a year. We're not really looking at him, but this is a guy we had to have. And God, man, he is been invaluable in these playoffs and in the regular season. He literally is the NHL's big hitter right now. I don't think there's anybody close.
He is.
When can you say that ever about a Ranger?
Right. He his hits definitely get noticed.
Yeah, and everybody,
not only did he lay a thunderous hit, he wound up getting Lorentz to jump in. Howie Lorentz, the 1937 Canadians, and Howie Lorentz winds up getting a 10-minute penalty of misconduct.
Yeah, Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet there. Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. You got to control your tempers here, and it cost them a goal.
God, the references on these shows are old.
Yeah, I just remember him being he was on a Carol Burnett show all the time. So I did have one bugaboo about Gallant. Well, first of all, let me ask you guys, our beloved Patreon, beloved fans of this show, and I'm going to ask Jim, as I always do, what did you initially think of that sneeze? No.
Bless you.
Thank you, sir. What did you initially think of him breaking up the second line at the start of the game? Taking Kako off, and who did he put on there? Buknevich? Who did he put on there?
Buknevich? No.
You put Kako on the fourth line, right? It's a Mott, I think. Mott.
Right. It was Tyler Mott.
Right. So what did you guys think of that? Immediately I said, this is our best line. Now he's moving it up. Now he's breaking it up. And then I said, oh, well, Mott's got the speed. So I don't know how you guys thought.
I'm fine with it. I think Tyler Mott's been one of their best forwards.
Me too. He's nice and rested. He's skating really fast. That's why. And we'll get to the Reeves end of the game thing, but I still would like a little more speed on that fourth line, but he refuses to do it. Is to maybe give Reeves the night off, but no. But options abound. That's right. He's got options. That's true, Jen. I got to say, I sit there going questioning, and then he proves me wrong. So I was kind of like that too. So it didn't bother you, Jim, at all?
No, not at all.
Okay, all right.
Now, I don't know if you saw this. I know you don't necessarily spend a lot of time on Twitter, and actually, nor do I. And I have to credit Justin for sending this to me. But things were so bad for the Hurricanes that they're getting trolled by a building, the Empire State Building, trolling the Carolina Hurricanes Twitter. Because the Carolina Hurricanes posted a picture of the Empire State Building with a red swirl around it, a storm.
Oh, yes, I remember this, but I don't
And
remember
it
the
said
follow.
a storm is headed for New York City. And then the Empire State Building responded this morning with the storm. One measly Kmart plastic chair blown over.
That's about sums it up. I mean, that's a good troll.
Where else but New York City will you get trolled by a building? A building.
It's
trolling
city
on Twitter. New
Tough
York
city.
fans are unlike any other in the world.
Now, is that the official? Like, I don't know anything about this Twitter
That
account.
is the official Empire State Building Twitter. Official. Blue check at all.
Wow. I wonder who's running that account.
Right?
Thank God. I saw a lot of this. I saw people trying to troll me on when we were down 2-0. It's over, Ranger fans. Blah, 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 blah. The same old crap. I even got trolled by. I got an email. Round 3 tickets are available now. This is sent by the Hurricanes.
Oh, see, they got your name.
Yeah, they got my name because I went.
Round
that
3,
one
huh?
time.
All
Round
right.
3. They're playing all the games are at Madison Square Garden.
Are they playing the Panthers in the third round? What are they doing down there?
Yeah, well, Bulls round 3 tickets are now available on sale now.
In all honesty, are the Rangers selling third round? They have to be by now, no?
Yeah, but don't send me that. That's a travesty.
Well, yeah, but you're obviously on there. You bought tickets there. You went to that game. You're on their list.
Well,
I get emails from the Flyers because of the preseason game that Jen and I went to 3 years ago. I still get emails from the Flyers. I even responded to the guy one day, and he's still emailing me. And I responded to him. I said, "Look, I don't believe in wasting anybody's time. I said, I'm a Ranger fan. I said, the only reason why you have my email address is because my fiance and I went to a preseason game there. I said, take me off your list. I said, I'm not going to buy Flyer tickets. It's just not going to happen. Unless they're playing the Rangers, it's not going to happen. And they still email me. I don't even think he read it.
yeah. I'm going to unsubscribe after I get done with the show. I don't want to see that shit.
No, don't unsubscribe until the series is over. Then you unsubscribe with a little note. I don't think I'll be buying any third round tickets down there. Nah.
I say, well, you guys,
we're over here now.
I'm over here now.
Third round's over here now.
Well, I got to tell you, Jim, this matchup has not gone the way anywhere close the way I thought it was going to be.
No.
It hasn't. I came into this saying Rod Brind'Amour. He can't beat Rod Brind'Amour as a coach. Rod Brind'Amour is a better coach, and I'm not seeing that at all.
This is not the same Carolina Hurricane team that we saw during the season. I don't know if Boston took a little something out of them. I don't know if maybe the Rangers just not laying down and dying has taken a little wind out of their sails. We'll see tomorrow night. All I know is coming into this series, I wasn't nervous, and I wasn't nervous because they beat the Penguins, and I felt a level of satisfaction in that. I felt like it vindicated the season, and I don't want to say I was just happy to be in the second round, but I was okay with whatever happened. I really was.
Yeah, I think we both.
I always want to see them win, of course, but I said this to Brian Attard. I said, to give you an example, I said, if they don't get out of the second round, I said, yeah, it's going to suck. I'm going to be disappointed. I'm going to be bummed. I said, but in a couple of weeks, I'll be over it. I said, but 7 years later, I'm still not over losing to the Lightning in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. I said, I'm at peace with whatever happens. Then they lost Game 1. I'm like, okay, I really thought the Rangers gave it all they had in Game 1. They didn't win. Then they got shut out in Game 2. And you kind of resign yourself. You don't give up, but you kind of resign yourself. Okay, maybe we just don't have the horses for this. Then they win Game 1. And really all I could think was, okay, at least I know we're not getting swept. And at least I know we're going to see another game at the Garden. Now the series is even, and now I'm nervous. Now I'm nervous. Now all I can think of is, Eddie, we're 2 wins from the Eastern Conference Finals. We are 10 wins from a cup. Oh, now it's all here now.
You can't help it because these
all
thoughts,
here
they creep into your head like, hey, 10 wins to the Stanley Cup.
Right.
Now,
but it's a little thing. Play the Eastern Conference Finals. And I know Tampa's really good, and they have played really well, and they have already gotten further than I expected them to. Vasilevsky's great. No doubt about it. They will be rested. They are going to be a formidable opponent in the Eastern Conference Finals. But going into the playoffs, if you told me that the Rangers are going to – if you told me there was a possibility that the Rangers would get to the Eastern Conference Finals and that Carolina and Florida would be out of the playoffs, I would tell you they're going to the Stanley Cup. And I don't think how many people would really disagree with me? I mean, come on. Wouldn't you think that if Florida and Carolina were out of the way and the Rangers were in the Eastern Conference Finals, okay, we're going. I mean, you'd have to going into the playoffs, you had to think they were the third, maybe fourth best team in the East. I would have given you Boston if you said you thought Boston was better than the Rangers. I would have given you that. I would not give you. I just didn't think Tampa played that well. But
and the Rangers played good against Tampa during the regular season too.
And the Rangers played good, right? Didn't play well at most part against Carolina. So it's all going out the window. But that all starts to creep into your head now. Christ, we could 2 wins. All we got to do is win 1 on the road. Just 1 on the road. 1 on the road. Just let it be tomorrow night. Let it be tomorrow night. Get it out of the way. Can we not?
I know what you said. You don't have to say the words. Just make it easier on yourself.
I would love to see them have a chance to do this in front of the fans at Madison Square Garden. We had a long 5 years. We had this rebuild. It would be nice to see this team finish this series, a series that most people didn't think I know, putting the cart before the horse, but let's get it done. Nerves are set in. I'm ready. Let's go.
I mean,
Just win 1 on the road. That's all they got to do. Just 1.
I just think that, Carolina just doesn't. I don't know. They look like past Ranger teams that I've seen in the.
I wonder why that is.
I mean, they look listless. The power play is a disaster. A lot of times these games are decided on special teams. The Rangers check the box for that. Even strength. Didn't you
just expect, based on what you've seen, what we saw during the season, and really what Carolina's become the last couple of years under Brendan Moore, didn't you just expect them to be coming at the Rangers in waves this entire series, however long it lasts? We've seen like 10 minutes of that in 4 games.
Yeah.
I mean, really, where they were just assaulting the Rangers, and there was just nothing the Rangers could do to stop them. Like the last 10 minutes of the third period of Game 1, and a little bit here and there. I mean, Carolina had a real good second period yesterday, and until Zibanejad scored, I was about to say that was a terrible period, and then Zibanejad scores the goal, and all is well again. So it's just not not what I've expected, whether it's home or on the road. It has not been the Carolina team I expected.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's hard to shake that funk. And the Rangers did it basically by taking taking Pittsburgh to 7 games. Well, let's face it, they didn't look good in that series at all.
Not really.
Not really. I mean, they didn't look as bad as some other people were saying that they were frauds and this and that. Listen, you get timely goals, you get big goals. That says a lot about your team, your resiliency. It's a plus. It's a plus just think of Shesterkin getting pulled in 2 consecutive games and see where he is now. Now he's regular season Igor. He's first half of the season Igor. A lot has to do with it. The fact that Carolina doesn't get 4 chances in front of the net like the Rangers playing against Pittsburgh. So
Yeah,
I feel like the Rangers have kind of shook off the funk. You know what I'm saying? And now they're playing their game now. And Carolina doesn't look anywhere close to shaking that off. Now, maybe the home cooking gets them a better edge. I don't know. A scoreboard telling your fans what to do. I don't know if that's an advantage or not for your hockey team. But the Rangers seem to have gone through their adversity, and I feel like Carolina is sunk deep. Because I've seen this story before as a Ranger fan.
Right.
Can't enter the zone. And they look confused out there.
I mean, Carolina's getting a lot of shots, but I feel like nothing. I just feel like it's nothing dangerous. The Rangers are just doing a good job of keeping them to the outside, and not a lot of traffic in front of Igor.
And that's where the Rangers have problems. The greasy goals, the protecting the house, as they say. Also, Alec jokingly says Svechnikov is no Evan Rodriguez, joking around. But they don't have a story guy, Carolina. They don't have a guy who's having a series.
Right.
And so it's good to see. And like you said, I already consider it a win already, but I want to win this. They go to the conference finals, I'll be ecstatic. I don't know what's going to go on in the conference finals if they make it.
Now we say they go to the conference finals.
No, but I was about to.
A week and a half ago, we're like, if they just get to the second round, I'll be ecstatic.
Right.
But
expectations change.
Vanguard said it best. Expectations change.
They do.
He said it on this show many years ago. Expectations change.
But they got to make it easy on us these next 2 games. Win the next 2 games, go home. Now, win it in front of the Garden and go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to add, Sean and Justin have both made comments here in the chat that they think the Canes are rattled, that the Rangers are in their heads a little bit, and that the Canes are kind of shook up. You think that's the case? A lot of jawing last night, a lot of yapping.
Yeah.
A lot of
are they?
It looked frustrated. I will say that back. I will say that. And yes, Stevie Maven, I agree. That will make a difference tomorrow night, but if he comes back. But I believe he is expected. Martin Nook.
Well, I think if you're I hate to say this expression, but if you're a Carolina Canes player, first of all, your power play is shit. That's got to be frustrating. Because even if the Rangers take a penalty, it's almost like 2 minutes get killed. They're penalty killing.
Carolina just passes it back and forth across the blue line, takes a shot. The Rangers get the puck and dump it out. It looks like Scott Arneal's power play.
They're penalty killing, which is fantastic. The Rangers have scored some power play goals. I think they have 3 or 4. I mean, not a tremendous amount, but also game-changing power play goals. So now special teams is all a little bit, and they're worried about the Rangers power play because, the Rangers have really good power play. And the Rangers don't do that well, as we know, 5-on-5.
And the Canes are if I'm not mistaken, the Canes are the best penalty killing team in the league in the regular season. And now here's the Rangers against a team that does take a lot of penalties. So they get a lot of practice on that number one PK. But, the Rangers have found some success at it. So.
Also, power play and shorthanded, there are momentum changing things. You go in, you finally get the power play. All right, we got to put one on the board. We got to put one on Shesterkin, and you fail. You take it to heart. And then when you got to kill a penalty and the Rangers are throwing the puck all around. Last night, Rangers' first power play didn't get a goal. But boy, were they throwing that puck around, hitting the side of the net, very close to
goal on that first power play, I think.
Exactly. So it, and then on the second power play, they scored. So it's like the wheels are starting to come off a little bit, and it's, of course, psychologically, you got to say, okay, now we got to play these guys 5-on-5, and they have Shesterkin in net. Right. Did you notice that the announcers started talking about, Frederik Andersen? I
mentioned that in our game thread.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Then all of a sudden the Canes are losing, and now, in game 3, it was Freddie Andersen might be healthy, but even if he's healthy,
going to stay with Ranta.
Not replacing Ranta because Ranta's playing so well. And all of a sudden they're worried about Freddie Andersen's health. Oh, he could be back.
Oh, yeah. It was more of that. We can't give the Rangers credit. It's the backup goalie. The Rangers are not, they're not beating their number one goalie. So Frederik Andersen now looming now.
Fuck Ray Ferraro. He's fucking coaching the Hurricanes from his little spot and his little perch. What they need to do, what they should do on their lines, how their power play should be going. Get out of here. Stop fucking coaching. You're a bum. You're a bum. You're a
chicken parm. I'm sorry. I don't have a feeling either way. They're two guys. They're like the G team on the net. You know what I'm saying?
The G team. He's a fucking he's just an island. He's still an Islander. That's all. He's still an Islander.
I'll go with Jonathan Riggs' summation. I think he likes to hear himself yell.
Definitely. Oh my God, screaming the whole game.
But
everything's critical. Everything's critical. 40 seconds into the game, there's a power play. This is a critical time in the game. Everything is critical.
Wow.
He's more dramatic than Meryl Streep. He's an insignificant pimple.
I don't know. Those two guys are saddled the call in the whole game. They got no really. He's the in-between guy and he's the color guy. I don't know. I got no feeling. I don't hate him, but I don't like him. I can't get it to.
Plus, and that's the other thing. I don't like, and they're not the first to do it. NBC Sports used to do it. I don't like when they have two guys calling a game and they're not together. I feel like there's something missing when they're not sitting next to each other because they're not seeing the game from the same angle.
Okay.
And I just feel like there's a chemistry thing that's not there.
I think you're right. It might be a disconnect.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. There's a disconnect. And I've seen a lot of people complain about Sean McDonough. I think Sean McDonough is fine. He just calls the game. He has a few go-to things that he'll mention 6 or 7 times throughout the game. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But he just calls the game. There's no rambling on about where a guy went to college. There's no stupid, he doesn't have 97 catchphrases that he's got to stick into every game. There's no stupid warming to the task. He's not talking about where a guy went to high school or who he grew up with, or, he's not talking about a guy's mother or a guy's father that much, or if he is, I'm not really hearing it. He doesn't ramble. He doesn't use 100 words when 3 will do. He's fine. He just calls the game. He reminds me of some of the guys you listen to on Sportsnet or, it used to be TSN. Those guys are pretty just nuts and bolts, meat and potatoes. That's all I need. I don't need canceling, waffle boarding, warming to the task, skittering. I don't need any of that bullshit.
He shunks the pass, no shunking.
Oh, God. Don't pick on Emily Kaplan. She's fine. Yeah. Oh, or her dumb interview questions. I thought her interview with Andrew Kopp after the game was pretty good last night. What I liked what he said. He said, Andrew Kopp said that they got back to, they played a lot more north-south last night, was what they need to do.
Yeah, I didn't mind that.
No.
And I found the two things in this series that for some reason, Sam Rosen and Joe Micheletti in there, I mean, they with the team. Well, not so much with the COVID and all that stuff, but they're around the team. You couldn't tell me that Andrew Kopp was a former quarterback. Like, I learned that. All right, a quarterback. Hey, it's a nice thing I want to know.
That.
Yeah, that comes out. Keandre Miller being a childhood model.
Right.
Come on, how is that not sussed out during the regular season? I want to know these things. These are like little things that I'll remember, probably make a joke about it. But,
One thing I didn't like, and they did it last night, and they've done it in other games. She's interviewing Gallant in between, I believe, the second and third period, and that's half the window. And meanwhile, in the other half of the window, the game's going on. I'm like, we just had 15 minutes of intermission. We couldn't, just put the Gallant the 2 minutes of nothing. We couldn't have just said, before the period starts. Adam Fox is from Jericho, New York, as Sean Avery would say.
Oh,
Jericho.
I can't wait to use that. I'm going over to Jericho. It's over near Jericho Turnpike. What was his name? So yeah, and I also feel, and we're all so tense when we watch these games.
That's true.
That we are aggravated by every little thing. I hate this camera angle. I hate this. Why they're going to score because this camera angle is not the same camera angle that I'm used to.
It's all true. It's true.
So I am super agitated during the games. So I have no patience for stupidity when it comes from the announcers.
And this is one of the things that always aggravates me. Like, and you heard it, I think, at one or two moments last night, but you'll always hear Sam and Joe say it too. Like, the Rangers will be up 2-0 and everything's going well. And then the other team starts to just have like a good shift, or they get the Rangers hemmed into their zone a little bit. Oh, and now Carolina's picked up their game. And I'm just like, shut up. I don't even want to hear that. It's so, like, I don't want to hear it. I could see it. I don't need to be told it. Just, and I am not listening to you, Like,
and a chant of Henrik Lundqvist goes up from the crowd. Yeah, I can hear it too, bozo. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. How many times do you think we say shut up during the regular season? I must say at least 25 times a game. Shut up, Sam. Shut up, Joe.
Mostly to Joe.
Well, Sam, when he goes into that doom and gloom when a defenseman blocks a shot, oh, he's shaking up, Joe. Yeah. Have you ever been watching hockey? 95% of the time, the guy is not injured, thankfully. He goes to the bench, he's doubled over, but, he's a warrior. Speaking of warriors, Ryan Lindgren. Let's give another round of applause to this guy.
Continues to soldier on.
Offense. I mean, he got assisted on that.
I thought he scored the goal last night, but Fox tipped it.
Yeah. How do you like that?
That's going to be his goal.
I thought so too. And I was like, he was kind of in deep.
Very true, Danielle. Very true. It's just years of trauma.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. Iron Lindgren. You like that one? I like that, Jonathan Riggs. That's very good.
That's going to be on sale tomorrow at one of those T-shirt places.
Yes, get ready.
Yeah,
Harry Brooks will have his production company working on it.
We Bleed Blue will be selling T-shirts that say Iron Lindgren. You ought to make those up tonight, John.
Yeah, get in the copyright tonight.
Right.
Yeah.
Just remember, you heard it there last.
Yep. Sean pointing out Lindgren 2 assists last night. D'Angelo has no points in the series.
Nope.
What's your thoughts on him now? Still,
They've taken him off his game. He's all talk. He's all talk in this series. Look, I liked him when he was here. I did, but he's right now he's mortal enemy. But stop the fans. Leave him. The fans just stop. Just watch the game. Watch the game. Stop worrying about when he has the puck because he's not doing anything with it. Stop chanting he sucks because eventually that always comes back to bite us in the ass. Just ignore him.
I don't know,
The
Alex.
opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference.
Right.
Show him indifference. He's the enemy. I mean, don't we honor enough players in that building that didn't play for that don't play for us anymore?
Yes.
Anyway.
No, I agree, man. I think
I definitely think the Rangers had them agitated their entire team last night. I just don't think there's a lot of guys on that team that want to get involved in rough stuff.
I think Jesper Foss is going to drop the gloves and start going. I mean,
who's going to hurt? Guy weighs 150 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in his pocket.
I met him up close and personal, so to speak. That guy's a bone rack, and he holds the record for most.
Makes Robbie Giambardo look like Schwarzenegger.
He's a thin man. Let's put it that way.
All right.
And now if Martin Hook plays, he brings a physical presence, but they can ill afford to start anything. You saw what happened last night with Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet. They got extra penalties, instigated penalties. And you guys are calling. I thought Panarin played a pretty good game last night. I thought he was much more confident with the puck. He made some nice passes. Did he get a goal? No.
I thought he played okay last night too.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a disappointment. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not writing the guy off, especially. You never know. He scored that Game 7 overtime. The Game 7 goal. I mean, you never know when these guys are going to pop up. Now, I know he's a big star. He's getting paid a lot of money. So I don't know. He looked more confident. I was worried about his confidence. He looked so shaky. You didn't even want him to touch the puck. It was like a hand grenade.
Barclay Goodrow is skating, by the way. Has not participated in a full practice, but he is skating. It's going in the right direction, said the secret squirrel.
Oh, secret squirrel.
Whatever that means.
Yes. He, again, what does he do? They play well for him. That's it. I mean, I don't know what adjustments, options, whatever you're talking about. He doesn't mix with the lines a little bit.
Apparently, he yelled at the team before the fourth goal. He was yelling at the forwards on the bench to stop watching the game.
Oh, I like that.
Same thing David Quinn used to tell him. Stop watching the game.
Well, I believe.
Oh, Michael Sauer. That'll help.
That'll help. Oh, speaking of the defenseman, here's my thing with Gallant. Let's see. Would you agree, first of all, that the Rangers defensemen, they look tired in the third period? They're just a little bit more disheveled. They look a little bit out of gas. This is my interpretation. I don't know if you have the same feeling. They look a bit desperate in their own zone sometimes.
Well, yes, but is that because by the time he gets to the third period, he's only using 4 defensemen?
That's my point. Why does he bench Schneider and Braun in the third period when the Rangers defensemen, they look a little bit tired?
Schneider only had 8 minutes of playing time last night. I don't know how you don't give him more, especially in a game you're winning the entire game.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, I know you go with your horses.
That game was never in doubt. Not really.
And Schneider had played a good game previous. He made a couple hits. I don't know why. I guess he just relies on his horses. And listen, when I guess you're 10 games, possibly away from a Stanley Cup. Well, not 10. Yeah. What am I talking about? If they would win this series, so 12, right? Whatever it is. There's a long way to go. And these Ranger defensemen are getting pounded. They take, and as well they should. You've got to hit, you got to, during a series, and now it's the second series, these defensemen have been hit. Fox has been hit. We talked about it on other shows. They're targeting these guys. Lindgren's playing with half a knee or whatever he is. Can ill afford. Why is he doing this? I know it's successful. So you hate to go against the guy.
Right.
But it doesn't make any sense to me.
They are an enigma.
And to me, I mean, Braun is, he's not noticeable, which is great for a 5 or a 6. And Schneider needs the experience, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good for a guy his age.
I think Braun's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. He's definitely been better than the alternative. Absolutely.
Oh,
and he doesn't take penalties. I mean, Nemeth was good for 2 penalties a game.
The whole dimension of the whole trajectory of the Rangers playoffs was directly tied to Patrick Nemeth. Once they got rid of him, they started winning, and they became successful. So, what finally he realized that guy stinks, and he's a penalty-taking dope. But I'm curious to why Schneider and Mrs. Romano do not get any plays in third period. So
when was the last time Nemeth played? He has not played. I don't think he's played in this series, right?
No.
Did he play Game 7 against the Penguins? I'm looking.
I don't think he did. No. That seems like 2 years ago now. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Nope. Justin Braun. Game 6. It doesn't seem like that many games ago since he played last, but
it's been a while.
I'm seeing him on the stat sheet, no place.
Yeah, I agree with Sean said Game 3. I think Game 3.
Game 3 of the Pittsburgh series was the last time he played?
I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I didn't think it had been that long. Nope, he played Game 4.
Oh,
also a 7-goal blowout. Game 4 of the Pittsburgh series.
Yeah, that was the 17-second one, I think.
Oh, the game where he played 6 seconds?
I thought it was like 17, but maybe it was 6.
Game 4. Let's see. No, he played 18 minutes in that game.
I don't know. Well, I just know it's a direct correlation. The Rangers started picking up that game as soon as he got.
Pretty much.
So.
He could sit up in the press box and talk to Nils Lundqvist.
And Swedish. Practice English.
Right.
What are your odds that Libor Hayek plays in this Stanley Cup run? 0.0.
I'd rather have him than Nemeth.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather have anybody than Nemeth.
I'd rather have Joe Namath than Patrick Nemeth.
That's true. What else I got? I just don't understand because I just the end that point. Rangers, like I said, the Rangers were no. I mean, I was going to say the Rangers. It was no doubt the Rangers were going to win that game because in our minds they were blowing that 3-goal lead or something crazy was going to happen. But I think now we could safely say when the Rangers get a lead, I feel so comfortable. If it's 2 goals, I'm going. This could stand up.
Well, I thought they did a good job. It's good that you mentioned that. I thought when it was 3-0 and Carolina scored when Teravainen got the goal, I was worried that the push was coming. And it really didn't. I thought the Rangers did a good job of kind of controlling the play and settling down. Whereas, there might have been times where, that could have led to the second goal or the third, and then the third goal. There were times where you could see that happening, but they didn't panic. And I thought they did a good job of, kind of getting a hold of the reins again. And then they wound up getting another goal.
That Mika goal was so beautiful, though, because Lindgren who shot the puck, and it was laying there in the crease.
Yeah,
he just came right in between the goalie and the crease, just put it in. And I was just like, oh man, I couldn't believe it. I was so excited then. I was so I was ecstatic. I was just like, I don't know. Sometimes in these series, it seems like it takes you're climbing Mount Everest in order to get a puck behind the goalie. And he was right there at the right time.
Kreider, it's batted out of the air by Pesce. Scooped up by Vetrano. Now Zibanejad for the trailing Lindgren. It gets behind Raja, and Zibanejad scores! He made the save on the Lindgren shot, but it got...
Hold on. Was it the Cop goal? No, maybe it was the. Hold on. I got to look at it again real quick. Stupid ads. Was it this one? No, maybe it was the. Oh, it was the Fox goal. I'll bring this video up too. I think this is the one. It all started with Kreider, who lost his stick.
Oh yes, this is wonderful.
And he kicked the puck.
Yeah.
To keep it in the zone. I think it was this goal, right? Let's see. It was this one, wasn't it?
For the Rangers, prior to the deadline, scored 8 goals. They had 13 points in 22 games in the regular season. Kreider
breaks his stick, kicks it deep.
Room for Lindgren, top of the circle, and he scores! Ryan Lindgren makes it 2-0 New York.
I mean, Cop makes does a great job getting the puck back from the defenseman, but it all starts with Kreider just kicking the puck.
And what I was
if he doesn't break his stick, that whole thing might never happen.
Right. I kept waiting for Kreider to get back into the screen after he went to the bench because that's the guy that's more lethal. But he wasn't even in the screen by the time they scored.
No,
it was great.
And how about Zibanejad breaking his? I've never
seen that.
But Zibanejad breaks his stick, goes to the bench, and Jim Ramsey's working on Lafreniere's skates, and there's nobody. Everybody's just sitting there. Nobody can hand Zibanejad his stick, a new stick. He's got to dive on the.
I've never seen that before.
I don't even know. Did he even grab his own stick? I mean, what are the odds that
I don't know. He knew where he was going. I don't know. I don't know for sure.
He just went in the door and grabbed the stick. I mean, could have been anybody's.
Right. No, that was a great play. I've never seen that before. First of all, if I tried to jump over the boards, I'd still be there trying to get over the boards. Okay. This guy did it all in one big swoop. He does his job.
I'd be stuck in the door like Ralph Cramden between the pipes when he's the janitor. Turn it towards the wall, Norton. There's 4 walls in there.
The door did open. I didn't see that. But you got to talk about Cop and Vetrano came up with big games last night. Again, Chris Drury, so far so good. I mean, what you got? Vetrano, you've got Mott, who we love. We've got Braun, who we like. Every guy he picked up has been a
They were all huge contributors last night. Huge. Vetrano had a goal and an assist. Kopp had a goal and 2 assists. Braun was steady. And Mott's all over the ice. Every time he's out there, he's all over the place.
This guy, Mott, I tell you, I never noticed him. I'm going to be honest with you, folks. You could tell me, Tyler Mott, what does he do? I don't know. Mott's applesauce. I mean, I would have made, I would have made a couple jokes. I had no idea that this guy was what he was. So, I mean, kudos to Chris Drury for bringing these guys in. And who was the guy they said? Mott. Mott was one of the guys that they had pretty much were going to do, had the guys that were going to try to acquire. And then the Rangers scouts went to Drury, said, we really like Mott. We like what we see from him. Go out and get him.
Right.
So kudos to the organization. I mean, now, am I going to be happy with Tyler Mott if he's a Ranger for 5 more years? Probably not. But now again, not talking about July, but the Rangers will have some decisions to make. Yes, I agree, Alec. He has a great motor, and he never stops. Well, yeah, it's true. Sean makes a good point. The analytical crowd has been, they've been made to look like fools. And I think my main thing with analytics is the analytics that these bozos, these nerds, these computer geeks, whatever you call them, they're using analytics, but the team has their own analytic crew that they pay that's probably way more advanced than what anything's going on anyway. So they're not – I'm old school, so I go with the eyeball test. I don't care about your heat maps and your whatever they got. Ink. They look like those tests, those ink blot tests. What do they call them?
Rorschachs?
Yeah, that's what that looks like to me. Horseshacks.
I understand, using it as a tool, but it shouldn't be the end all to analyzing a team or a player's play.
There's a lot of intangibles that,
especially
they have expected goals. What's that called? I don't know how to figure expected goals. Expected goals. What is that?
You know what I thought was funny? They put this stat up occasionally during the games on ESPN, expected face-off winning percentage or something like that. And Mott skates into the face-off circle to take a face-off, and his face-off expected winning percentage was like 28%.
Yeah, it was something bad.
So ridiculous.
So, I don't know. I don't know which, but I just know the New York Rangers right now, they have a lockjaw on this series. They got them clamped. They got to go in Carolina and put a dagger in them, and then they just stomp on them and choke them, with their feet. And then I don't know, I was going into some voice. And then they just get them out of here. They're ripe for the picking.
I think the first goal is important tomorrow night.
Well, look, that crowd will go out of unless the Stormy or some thing on the scoreboard gets them crazy. They don't know what to do.
There's that, and you don't want. I don't want to see Carolina get the first goal because that instantly changes their mindset. They've got okay, we're back. Everything's okay. We're home. We got the first goal. We got the lead. We got everything we want. We want the Rangers to score first and make Carolina chase the game.
And let's face it, if they got to chase the game, they're not in this series. From what I've seen, they don't have the makeup to come back from 2 goals. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but from what I've seen so far, they haven't been able to sustain a constant push like Pittsburgh did against the Rangers for half a period, a whole period. So That's important.
I would take 7 goals in the first 5 minutes, but I'd rather have 7 goals in the first 20 minutes. Because I don't want to think, all right, we're up 7-0, but Jesus, there's 55 minutes to go in this game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, right. So, thank you for the good time. I don't know why I've been sneezing here. Maybe I got some kind of allergy going. I don't know what's going on with me. All right. So I don't know if you guys saw this. Me and Jim, I don't think Jim is interested in this as I am, but he was good enough to entertain me and maybe entertain you guys with this. Did you guys see this Sean Avery thing? Kind of in response to Paul Bissonnette calling the Rangers a fraud, and I'll tell you what, man. This Paul Bissonnette, I don't know if it's entertainment. I don't know what he's doing. That Ray Whitney, he needs to be punched. What this loser do ever in his career? Yeah, losers. So this is Jim says there's something going on with the Avery's face in this.
It just looks like he hit the bronzer a little too hard or something like that.
All right. Well,
something strange going on there with the skin there.
All right. Let's see what Sean has to say.
Here it is. Here, let me. There we go.
Paul Bissonnette, a.k.a. Biz Nasty. Biz, this is from all Rangers fans, okay? What they're saying to you is, word on the street, you better look over your shoulder the next time you come to New York City, okay? Head on a swivel, elbows up. You got a target on your back. And I'll tell you what, it's not a good city to have a target on your back because you can't really tell where it's coming from, Biz, all right? And everybody can see you a mile away, all right? You just radiate something, okay? I don't know what it is. Depends who's asking. But you are in trouble, my man, all right? Because you bet against the boys that bleed blue, and they're going to make you bleed red. This is from all Ranger fans, Ranger Nation, okay? Keep your head up. Keep your head up, all right? You're safe in Scottsdale. You're safe in Atlanta. You're not safe in New York or the greater state of New York, okay? From fucking Albany to New York City, up into the fucking Adirondack.
Where the fuck is Albany?
It doesn't matter where you are, Biz. They'll find you. And you'll get shanked. You'll get fucking shanked, okay? So we've sent out a flare, all right? WWE style. Yeah, you want to play the heel. That's what they're saying. This guy wants to play the heel. You got to think twice, Biz. You got to know the hornet's nest that you're dealing with. New Yorkers will shank you. They will fucking shank you and keep walking.
Okay, seriously, look over his left eye here. It looks like somebody slathered him with bronzer with a paintbrush. I mean, there's just very. I mean, this is not natural tanning.
There's a lot of things that are
right out of Donnie Brasco. Think of all the great fucking shanks that have taken place in New York City. We're going to add you to the list, Biz. It's not too late. You can change course. Let's go Rangers. Pop Man sucks. And Fatso forgot to shake my hand.
Fatso forgot to shake my hand.
I thought I just watched a bad WWF promo. You're gonna be Ranger Red. Ranger Blue's you're gonna spill blood. Albany. I used to know that. Albania, a good friend of mine.
Albania, you border on the Adriatic. Only Sean McCaff is going to get that reference. I guarantee you he will get that reference. I hope he's still here.
Okay, here is the thing. Here's the thing that disturbs me about this. I feel it's totally not genuine.
You got it. I knew he'd get it.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yes, that was Coach. He was teaching somebody geography or something like that, and he teaches that song to try and learn the different things. Ernie Pantuso. Is there an Ernie Pantuso here? That's you, Coach, speaking.
No, that was I think that was a TikTok, right? That was something. That was Twitter.
Twitter, Twitter
It wasn't
video.
Well,
Twitter, TikTok, musically, some shit. It's always a
yeah.
problem. Fucking cameo.
I feel like it was not genuine. I know this guy Avery was on Bissonet's show like a couple months ago, so I don't think there's any real feud going on there. And also I told Jim this, and I hate to be serious. I really hate to be serious.
I'll say my piece.
What? Say a period. Say a piece.
It's like Sean Avery had like he was just such a clown. And now he's coming out like he's the fucking mayor's wife, of Ranger Town here. Like
right.
He's our number one fan.
Right.
Like he's got to speak to the Islander fans and tell them how greasy they are and this, that, and the other thing. Like, he's not my spokesman.
Well, that's true. I mean, if it was first of all, he wasn't with the Rangers all that too long. So I want a Ranger who's been a Ranger for life. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much played his whole career with a Ranger. But
let me hear that from Duguay or something.
He's got like a little Duguay look going on.
Duguay would never be seen with a tan that looked that bad.
With the paintbrush?
Spray or otherwise. Come on.
Now, I hate to be serious, but again, if this kind of technology or was written in the paper that way back like 20 years ago, whatever, that Avery had said these things about getting shanked and people, I wouldn't worry about it. But now you got comedians being attacked on stage, just putting this out there. I mean, he could have trolled them. He could have trolled Bissonette in so many ways, but in New York, you never see it coming. We'll stick you just like Donnie Brasco. I mean, to me, it's stupid. It's just nowadays with this climate, there's probably some idiot who'll do it. Not that you're going to see Paul Bissonette. Just first of all, nobody will know who the fuck Paul Bissonette is in New York City.
Yeah, how many people in New York City are going to recognize Paul Bissonette walking down the street?
I know. But just that it puts it out there. I mean, call me a... Go ahead.
But Bissonette's he's a fucking tool and he's a troll. And you do shit like this, you just give him more attention. And that's what he wants. He just wants attention. He just wants attention. He's just a guy at the glass holding up a sign, give me a free stick. That's all he is.
What is he? Well, what does he do on a national broadcast if this is what he is? Get him off. People hated Milbury. They should be hating this guy.
That's just it. People talk about him.
He
says things that get people talking.
All right. I just think it's a whole bizarre thing, but it did get my attention, so I guess I got hooked.
Wow. Not sure how to take that.
I don't know. They're trying to get him to be like Charles Barkley and be all controversial and stuff.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's probably right.
Yeah. I just, but like you said, who appointed him our Ranger defense?
Right. Doesn't he know we've already got a Glenn Anderson?
Yeah. You don't see him playing in any of those bum night games. He doesn't get the privilege. Oh. So that is the story, Morning Glory. That's all I really have.
That's what I have.
I think the Rangers have commanded this series if they wanted. They got to take it. The brass ring is right there. Just got to reach out and grab it.
When do you want to do Game 5 wrap up for these fine folks that keep us on the air forever?
Let's see. When's the next day? When's next day? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. I'm free Friday night a little later, like 7 or later.
Yeah, I can do Friday night.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, so We'll shoot for Friday night. We'll probably go with 7:00.
Sounds great, man. Glad to see
And
everybody turning out.
Last time I looked, the start time for Saturday has not been decided yet.
May go with that day game shit.
I really don't know what they're waiting for to decide. There's only 2 games scheduled on Saturday. One's on the West Coast. So what's the big decision? Play the Ranger game at 5:00 and then play the other one at 8 or 9:00. And that way the East Coast doesn't have to stay up till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I would love to be up 3-2. Come on, take it. Daniel said tonight's game.
7 or 8. Oh, I just looked at the Rangers schedule. It still says TBD.
Oh.
It is a night game. Danielle is reporting.
Okay, well, I trust her. And
8 p.m. if Oilers close out, 7 p.m. if Oilers Flames are on.
All
All right. So anyway, Saturday night. Oh, the ticket holders got an email. Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
I would trust anything they tell me.
We'll be here.
Up 3-2 and coming home. That's what we want.
Oh, please. Please.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, Joe. I can't wait. I can't wait. Come on. They got the guys.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you Friday night. Eddie, always a pleasure.
Great seeing you. Yes. Great hanging with the crowd. Love you all.
All right. We'll see you guys Friday night. Let's go, Rangers. Good night, everybody.
How about them Rangers?